Hi, this is Bill Kempfer of Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, and I'm here today to talk to you about what's coming right around the corner, which is the opening of dove season. Dove season is a big sporting tradition in the South, and you're sure to probably get an invite or have the opportunity sometime during the 3 seasons that are available to shoot dove. We get a lot of questions about what does it take to go hunt dove, and what do we need, and what are some of the things we should know about getting ready? Well, to be honest with you, you can use any shotgun you want. You could from 12 gauge on down to a 410 caliber. It's whatever you're comfortable with. You will be shooting birds that are flying rather quickly and in all different angles, so it's got to be a gun that you can handle freely. But 12 gauge, 16 gauge, 20 gauge, 28 gauge, 410, whatever you have that you're most comfortable with, that's what I'd recommend. As far as shot size goes with the shot shells that you're using, we're talking about very fragile birds here. You don't need a lot of shots. So let's just first of all talk about the amount of shot. 1 ounce loads in a 12 gauge gun is more than appropriate for it. If you want to use 1 ounce and 1/8, great, but it's maybe overkill. But a 1 ounce load will give you great performance, reduced recoil, and it will do the job, trust me. As far as shot size goes, going back to that question, is number 8 is the best general all around, especially for the first season and opening day. I would highly recommend 8 shot. As the season progresses and we get into the late dove season, especially the 3rd season, then you may want to switch because you're going to have to a little heavier shot. I would say transition to the 7.5s because you will be taking longer shots. Those birds have been around for a while. They're a little bit more wily than the early season birds, and so you need to a little bit more distance, and the heavier shot will carry the energy further. So that's one way I'd go. And once again, so I'd relatively light loads. One thing that we want to do is we want to keep everything safe, and so a couple of etiquette rules that have to do with safety I think are very appropriate. First of all, you should keep the gun empty from the time you arrive to your destination until you're in your blind, until you're set up in your blind. Don't load the gun when you get it out of your vehicle and then walk with the gun loaded to your blind. Generally speaking, that's just not safe, because especially if there's other people around, you don't want to take any random shots without knowing where you're going to be shooting and identifying what's downrange. So, how you carry your gun, if it's a break action gun, what I recommend is just leaving the action open, carrying it over your shoulder with your barrels in front of you. This way everybody can see that the gun's empty and safe. You still have both hands free if you need them, and you can carry your gear and go right to the blind and get set up. Once you're set up, then you can load the gun and be prepared to hunt. Once you've been set up, you identify your field of fire, and then you can do that. With a semi-automatic shotgun, which is a little bit different, you can't break that thing open, but you should leave the action open so everybody can see that it's empty and safe and it cannot shoot. It's as simple as that. That is just a common courtesy. I prefer carrying the gun to the blind in a gun slip. It doesn't have to be a fancy gun slip. It could be just a little canvas gun slip, something that you can sling over your shoulder and carry the gun. That way you have both hands free to carry your gear. I think that's the most appropriate thing. And when you leave the field, empty your gun, put it back in the gun slip, put it over your shoulder, and carry your gear back out. That is really good. One of the best safety rules I've ever been taught in my whole life is that if you see the sky, you can take the shot. If you can't see the sky behind the bird, don't. And the reason for this is that there's other people shooting the same field, and you want that so that you keep the birds flying. But as they're shooting the same field, this shot can carry up to 900 feet, depending on the wind. Normally, a 12 gauge load shot at optimal height, you're talking about just a bit over 700 feet. But if the wind's blowing stoutly, then this could be changed. So you want to shoot high so that if the shot does reach over to where somebody else might be, that it just comes down like rain as opposed to have any impact. So don't take any low shots. If a bird's trying to land, let it go. If you see a tree, if it's under the tree line, don't take the shot. Simple as that. As far as safety equipment goes, personal safety equipment goes, what I also recommend is shooting glasses. Sunglasses will work, but some sort of glasses and ear protection. You cannot replace your hearing. And so earplugs would be appropriate. If you have earmuffs, that works too. But I highly recommend a brimmed cap, either a brim cap that's fully brimmed or a baseball cap. In case you do get some of that shot raining down on you, it'll protect your face. Simple as that. But that'll keep it safe and fun. One of the things you can do to help prepare for dove season is to practice mounting your gun at home. Make sure it's unloaded, but just to get the feel of mounting and swinging the gun. Just like golfers take practice swings and practice putting in their living room, you could do the same thing with your shotgun to build that muscle memory necessary to keep moving with the bird. The other thing I highly recommend is shooting some clays. There's several places around that you can shoot clays, and I'm sure near you there is a facility that you can shoot some clays if you don't have a thrower on your own, and you can actually practice hitting clays. But when it comes to the birds, expect the unexpected, and just remember, it takes three things to shoot your best. It takes focus on the bird to the exclusion of everything else. It takes movement, the bird's moving, so it takes movement with the bird. And it takes faith. You've just got to put faith in your hands and allow that marvelous eye-hand coordination that we have to work as you deliver the shot to the bird. Have fun, be safe, enjoy the outdoors.